Good morning and welcome back. Jeb Smith here. So yesterday the FHFA, which is the Federal Housing Finance Agency, came out and once again extended the moratorium on evictions and foreclosures, which we're going to talk about in just a minute. We're going to talk about how long they extended it. We're going to talk about what you should do if you are a tenant behind on your payments. There's actually federal relief money out there for you to bring you current on your utilities as well as your rent payments. We're also going to talk about what you should do if you're a landlord and your tenant isn't paying you and not responding and what have you. But before we get into that, I want to take a minute and introduce myself. Again, my name is Jeb Smith. I'm a real estate broker here in Southern California. My channel's all about real estate. So do me a favor and hit that subscribe button if you like content like this. So a couple of days ago, I talked about President-elect Biden's plan to potentially extend the eviction and foreclosure moratorium through September of 2021. That's part of the stimulus package that's been proposed by President-elect Biden, in addition to $30 billion in rental relief money to go towards that. So that was out there in the future, and as of today, or as of yesterday rather, the moratorium was set to expire on January 31st. So within a couple of weeks, the moratorium was going to expire. Evictions and foreclosures could proceed. But yesterday, the FHFA came out and extended the moratorium through the end of February. So basically what they're doing is they're doing these 1 month at a time. They're watching to see what's happening in the economy, what's happening with the pandemic. Is it under control? Is it not? How's unemployment doing? And then they're kicking it out the can, if you will, down the road 1 month at a time. So they extended it through February 28th. Now this is the 5th extension from when it originally was passed as part of the CARES Act passed back in March of 2020. Now this moratorium only applies to Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac backed loans. So, FHA, VA, they have their own guidelines. This is only Fannie and Freddie and single family homes. Now single family homes in this case includes townhomes and condos as well. Because, about a month or so ago, they had already extended the moratorium on multifamily properties, pushing it out until the end of February already. So there's already a moratorium on multifamily through the end of February. Now single family homes are pushed out through the end of February. So if you're a tenant behind on your payments, there is a way to get money if you've been affected by the pandemic to bring your rent current, to bring your utilities current if you're past due. Because at the end of the day, even if this moratorium continues and you're allowed to stay in your property, quote unquote, rent free, you still owe the money. It's not a free ride. The landlord could take you to court, get a judgment against you, and at some point that's going to come back to haunt you. So right now there's free money out there that you could take advantage of. Each state is allocated a certain amount of money based on the number of people in that state. And what happens is you have to go through the city programs, the state programs, which I don't actually have a list of, but if you Google it, you're able to find them where these people are, you're able to apply for it, and essentially, up to 12 months worth of payments could be delegated to you so that you can pay your landlord, pay your utility bills to bring you current on your past due rent. And, if as a landlord, if your tenant isn't able to do that, isn't willing to do that, you can actually do it on their behalf. Now, my understanding with this is that they have to be okay with it, or they have to be aware of it, that you're doing it. But, maybe as a landlord, if your tenant isn't, paying you, isn't able to pay you because they've been affected, maybe they are able to pay you, but they're just not. You can work with them to apply for this federal relief money that will essentially grant you, the back payments, which could help at the end of the day, right? But keep in mind, if you're currently in forbearance on your mortgage as a landlord, if you've taken forbearance, then in theory you're supposed to provide that same relief to your tenants. So you're supposed to allow your tenants to live there rent free without having to come up with those payments, because you're essentially being granted these payments, although they will be due at some point in the future. It's just one of those things that how it works. Now, keep in mind, in this the moratorium extension, which I'll post a link to below, FHA or FHFA goes on in there to say that there are loss mitigation options that will allow you potentially, additional forbearance time. Now, the extensions or the forbearance opportunities for federally backed loans expired already. But what this says is that there are loss mitigation options that could potentially allow you to take forbearance. Maybe if you haven't done it, if you never took advantage of it, maybe there's still an opportunity to do it. And it even read as if maybe you had taken it, there might be an opportunity to extend it further. Now, I don't know if that's actually going to be the case, because at the moment there haven't been any proposals or anything put out that I've read that's actually going to extend mortgage forbearance over 12 months. But, lenders right now are going to help homeowners stay in property. So it may be worth reaching out to your lender to see what options you have. If you're in that situation and the federal relief money isn't an option for you. So whether you're on the landlord side or the tenant side, it looks like there could be some potential help out there. I mean, there was $25 billion passed back in December to help out with this rental relief, and President-elect Biden is proposing another $30 billion as part of his stimulus package, which would be the third stimulus package, which would make $55 billion towards rental relief. So there's money out there if you can get your hands on it, but I would definitely recommend applying for it. Don't just think I'm not going to get it. Do your part and see if you can get it, because it could provide you up to 12 months, in some cases even longer, which I talk about in a video here, which I'll link to above if you want more information on that. But as I promised, I'll continue to update you on mortgage forbearance, on foreclosures, on evictions as information becomes available. But if you have a comment for me, do me a favor, comment below. I appreciate the constant support, and look forward to seeing you again on the next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.